Alright, what's good, y'all, man? So I got a late night video for y'all. I just watched the game. Game ended not just too long ago. So I wanted to do this vid for y'all, man. This is a great win for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, man. Watched the whole thing. I mean, back and forth, defensive game. First half, Georgia Tech shoots it well, right? Shooting it well from three. They shoot like 42%. They shoot 50% from the field. They did what they were supposed to do, obviously, in the first half of the game. Second half, Clemson adjusted, right? Did a really good job making it tougher. Nate George goes off in the first half, 16 points, 7 to 10 shooting. He carries the scoring load offensively for them. Lance Terry struggling, throughout most of the game, shoots 3 for 14, early on. Ends up finding his groove later on, don't get me wrong, but did struggle. As y'all can see here, Terry obviously shoots 5 for 21 from the field. Again, not really an accustomed game for him, right? He usually shoots the eyeballs out. Leading scorer this year in the game against Louisville. He goes off in that one as well. Had a really good effort, hitting some big shots down the stretch. Nonetheless, but hey, you're gonna have that. But where did Georgia Tech really win this game? And it's right here, y'all. It's in the rebounding. Now, I talked about it in my article, but 56 to 46. I know what y'all gonna say. You're gonna be like, oh, it's only a plus 10. That's not a big deal. But the key was the offensive rebounding, right? Georgia Tech was still struggling to score offensively in the second half, right? But what did they do? Ibrahim Soiree, Bane Dongo, they did a really good job of crashing the glass. They had a 24 to 16 advantage, plus 8 on offensive rebounds compared to just a plus 2 on the defensive glass. That was a key factor in this game, especially when you were shooting really bad from the free throw line. They shot 12 or 25, just 48% compared to 18 for 21 and 86% by Clemson. Now, if Clemson was going to win this game, that was going to be the key thing. But Georgia Tech did a good job at overtime, second half of crashing the glass. And you could tell they just wanted it more. I mean, every time Nate George shot a shot, or it was Terry, or it was Duncan Powell, they was going and go crash and go get the offensive rebound. Which was key. Obviously, down the stretch, 64-62, got to get a bucket to force overtime. Duncan Powell has that erratic shot, but then he chases his rebound. Dongo kind of keeps it alive. He finds it and tips it back in. That was a crucial play in that game because that could have ended it right then and there. But they did a really good job of that. And as you guys can see here, Dongo with a great game, 18 points, 13 rebounds, right? And a lot of people have been questioning because he was coming in, he was, seen as one of the top 50 players in the country, really, based off his freshman season, right? I wouldn't say he's regressed. I would say he needs to be more aggressive. They need to find more sets for him, which brings me to my next point, right? Dongo needs to touch the ball more early on in games. You can see a little bit. He was getting a little frustrated. He would just clear out. He has to demand the basketball. And when I say that, when they key in on Nate George or if it's Javion McCullum or Lance Terry, they need to run a pick and roll action with him. Have him dive to the cup. And if Soiree is in the game or whoever else it is, maybe even Duncan Powell, have them dip down into the painted area. So if they come and collapse on him, you have an open pass every single time. Whether you have Soiree shooting a floater, a mid-range shot, or you have him ducking and slashing to the rim. You could put Duncan Powell in that same, obviously, offensive set, a guard, whoever it is. But to me, that is one of the best half-court sets they should run. It worked a lot in this game when you look at the second half and obviously you look at the overtime period. They ran a zone. What did they do? They had Nate George up top, running that screen and roll action, having Dongo dive down to the cup, and then having two defenders collapse on him and doing a nice dip-off pass, obviously, to Soiree or whoever it was at that time. That's what they need to run more of in their half-court sets. I think the offense will run better. The dribble is cool to get a one-on-one bucket. Obviously, George can do that. Powell can do that. But sometimes teams they're gonna know your tendencies. So you got to be able to have different set plays you can run down the stretch. I also want to commend their defense in this one. They did make it tough for Clemson. Credit Clemson. Obviously, they played pretty well, but the defense made it tough for them to get clean looks at the rim. And made them think a couple times about some of the shots they took. They was making them, shoot threes. If threes which they were shooting, they were contested. I thought they did a really good job in this one of making it tough, making this this was really a grind out game. I know you go look at the score, 89-86, but Georgia Tech grinded this out. This game went all the way to 3 overtimes. They didn't give it anything easy. And like I said, the key contributors for me is George, Dongo, and Soiree. They were critical in this one. I obviously credit Duncan Powell, too, for just his relentless effort. 19 points in this one. Didn't shoot it well, 8 of 19, but did a great job of crashing the glass, too, and had a key critical defensive play late in that game to force a turnover when Clemson could have went ahead and took the lead and potentially even won the game. And also shout out to Ndongo for hitting those 2 clutch free throws. This is what I mean on the defensive piece. Look how inefficient they were for the most of the game. Now, Shefflin was a problem. He balled 23 points, 8 rebounds. He had a good game. But Wiggins, who's one of their better scorers, 15 points on 5 of 16 shooting, right? You'll take that all day. Chase Hunter, who's your leading scorer, He had 28 points, but look how inefficient he was. 9 of 24 shooting, 4 of 12 from 3. You know what I'm saying? So if you can have that if you Georgia Tech, you feel pretty good, man. Like I said, only 3 scores hit double figures, and 2 of the 3 were inefficient. So that means you did a lot and you did what you needed to do defensively in order to win this game. So credit to them. Credit to them for the rebounding. Credit to them for making it tough. Only 42% shooting from the field. You know what I'm saying? Or that was obviously Georgia Tech. But only, my bad, y'all, only 36% shooting from the field, 32% from 3. You did your job. You did what you were supposed to do. And like I said, a quad 1 win for you on the road. Remember, quad 1 is net rating, right? Net rating, top 30 team, right? Top 30 team you beat on the road in their house that only had 1 ACC loss. That is huge for you and your program, for the morale. Now, I know some fans haven't been happy with Damon Stoudemire. Some fans haven't been happy with what direction the team is headed. But when you look at everything they've done this year, they've had a lot of injuries, right? Javon McCullum got injured again. You know what I'm saying? Head injury. Unfortunately, that was old man, friendly fire. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying, they still was able to, come out on top. And you have to give Coach Stoudemire credit. He's an elite recruiter. Like, he's in right now on several top-end prospects, even in the 2026 class. Top 10 finalists for him in the program, right? You get Mohamed Silla, right, who's going to obviously come in now with the 26 class. Like, you got a lot of players coming in. 25 class is special. Eric Chatfield is special. Akai Fleming, when he gets going, he's special. Like, they are recruiting at a high-end level, and this is what you want to see. And my bad, Mohamed Silla is in 2025 class. I'm thinking of the Masapa Jop, who is 2026, who I just thought about. But nonetheless, you're recruiting at a high-end level. It's only a matter of time, y'all. You're 11-12 on the season. You're 5-7, I believe, now in conference play. All you want is an opportunity, and they've shown with the opportunity they can play ball, right? North Carolina, they're struggling this year, not as good of an ACC team. You've already beat 2 of the top ACC teams now, right? In back-to-back games, Louisville at home and on the road against Clemson. In a neutral setting, you feel pretty good. You continue to add to the resume, right? The only team that you're going to have issues with, and that's Duke. Duke is Duke. You know what I'm saying? Good luck there. But imagine you go and you can make the ACC tournament and make a run. You just never know. And they've shown that they compete with the top-end teams. Only else that's in there, you got Wake Forest, obviously is a top team as well, that you obviously got to watch for. But those are like the top 4, top 5. If you can beat a couple of those teams, you feel pretty good. I would say going forward, you feel pretty good with your ACC tournament chances, right? Remember, at one point, Georgia Tech was at the bottom, you know what I'm saying, of the league. But now with 2 key critical wins, you're right there. Now you don't have to worry about, hey, we're not going to make the ACC tournament. You should be able to do what you do. Now you get some rest, late night, probably won't get into late, obviously, with the drive home. But now you get to build, and then Coach Stoudemire can go and practice. Hey, we need to work on our free throws. You know what I'm saying? We need to hit more shots. Hey, but great effort on the offensive glass, and you can continue to build. All you want to hope now is if your Tech get healthy. Can Luke Bryan come back at any point this season? Can Kowacie Reeves come back at any point this season? Will Jaden Mustaf be able to come back? If you can get these guys back with the experience that some of these guys is getting, with Darius Sutton coming in and getting experience as well, you feel pretty good about your team. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they're out for the season. Injuries, hasn't been a lot of updates around that. Still waiting to see. But I'll tell you what, they're going to be a tough out. That's not saying they're going to make the tournament. They got to handle the rest of their business for the rest of the games going forward and get a positive ACC record. But if you give me a tournament, ACC tournament, and they got all their horses, they're going to be a tough out. You know what I'm saying? So I tell Tech fans, man, y'all be patient with Coach Stoudemire. I think he definitely knows what he's doing. I think it's just a matter of time. Same with Coach Key. Back-to-back 7-6 seasons. Tech this year should take a precipitous jump forward in year 3 with him as the head coach. I think the same thing you're going to see next year with basketball with Georgia Tech. It's all a matter of patience. They are right there. They're right there.